Gang shit. Alright, let's do it. I won't bend, fold, or switch. No, nah. Won't see the day my boy gets shot and I let him snitch. Play the game, how it go. I'm exposing shit. Wish a nigga told him, be stand up, don't resort to it. Snitching. Damn, Max, I don't get it. You have bodies, you get popped, and you go tell you must be kidding.
House that, and did you also say that as you were moving into your mother's house, you saw a subject or a person that you knew to be Terrell? That Terrell kicked open the gate and at your mother's apartment building and then proceeded to shoot you with a firearm. I'm sorry, is that a yes? Did I ask if you would agree to have your statement videotaped?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you agree to have your statement videotaped?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you still agree to have your statement videotaped as we speak now?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you mind letting us know what your date of birth is?
Where the camera at? Right here?
Right here. There's one over there.
Oh, God. All right, look. Man, I'm Lakeside, man. Fuck Mad Max, man. He a rat. That shit over with, man. Cuz Mike got shot 64 times. But I damn sure bet you he wasn't screaming when he got shot.
Well, let's take it from the top.
Mad Max NLMB, the most dangerous man in Terror Town and the hospital room that ended his legend, cold open. There is one name in the entire No Limit universe that lands differently than every other name, not G Herbo. G Herbo is famous. Famous is a different thing. Famous means the world knows you. The name I'm talking about means the block knows you. And in Terror Town, in the 4-block war zone on Chicago's east side where No Limit was born, the block knowing your name meant something the charts could not measure. That name was Mad Max. For years, Mad Max was the most feared figure in the NLMB universe. Not feared in the way rappers get feared, not through songs and stories that get bigger with distance. Feared in the way that made people cross the street. Feared in the way that made his name appear in police reports, in court documents, in the hushed conversations of people who understood exactly what it meant.
So everybody was in there trying to just get through it through alternative school.
So what about people like Mad Max and different like names like that? You ever met him? You went to school with him?
Yeah, I went to school with him. He was going there too. He was cool. I actually had a funny ass story with Max, man.
You can share it?
Or... Yeah, I got locked up. I had got locked up for a pipe. And we, you know, you be in the county, in the station for a day, the next day you take the ride to the county. So we all going in the county before we get in the first bullpen, man. Finna go to court. Man, this nigga Max and that bitch is folk funny as hell. He talking and shit, tweaking. So I'm talking to him, shit, we chopping it up and shit. He telling me what happened. He got bumped with a pipe and shit like that. But like he ain't acting like he just got bumped for a pipe. Like he acting like
he too smooth.
He just in this bitch like he had a kickback or something. I don't know what he on. Like he in this bitch. But I guess this how you act when you know you're not gonna touch the deck. Like he know like.
Come get me.
Yeah, like, and it ain't like this his first pipe case. Like he got all type of shit in his background, but he in his bitch like. Like no worry in his mind, so we chopping it up and shit. We talking about how we just got bumped with pipes and shit. He telling me what type of pipe he got one with. We chop it up and shit. We now in the midst of us chopping it up though, they steady moving us bullpen to bullpen and shit before we go to court and get our bonds and shit. So I swear to God, before they called the nigga for, and mind you, this is my first time in the county too, so I don't even know like.
How old you was, guys?
I'm like. I probably was like 19. Sure. I was probably like 19.
Really young, yeah.
So this is my first time in the county, like going through these procedures. I'm kind of like, you know, I'm up, like I ain't scared of none. I'm just like trying to be aware. So this is a lot of niggas. Like I'm around a lot of niggas. There's a lot of shit going on. Like I gotta be on point in this bitch. You feel me? Like I've been to jail. I've been to the juvenile a lot of times, so I know how it is when you in jail. You gotta be around niggas, and it could get like that. So I'm already on that, but it's like just seeing how this shit go down. You feel me? I'm watching niggas in there. They all kind of acting like me, like just paying attention. Making sure everything, but this nigga just, that bitch having a good time, like, yeah, woo. Man, they get to calling us for court for coming back looking like they know it's over with. They can't, man, I swear to God, folks, Shorty came right back out that bitch. And they, what's your bond is? This bond was probably like 3,000 or some shit. It wasn't even shit. But the fact was, like, fool, if his shit was 23,000, he was gonna do the same shit. Like Shorty little ass walked right out that bitch in. When they moved us to the bullpen where niggas was finna start changing in to go on the deck and go upstairs. Everybody in that bitch that I just seen and came to the county with was, except Shorty, his little ass was gone. Mm-hmm. They was outside with that bread on BD, his little ass. Never, I ain't hear shit else from Shorty after that, and I ended up doing 6 months in the county.
Damn, on the real, that ain't funny though, but I'm just how you telling the story.
Man,
my mama, see, being in that bitch ain't funny at all. I'd have been in there fruit time,
In a neighborhood already at war on 3 fronts simultaneously, Mad Max was the definitive answer to the question of what No Limit was capable of. And then he died. And from what the street claims happened in that hospital room, everything changed. Not what he did in life, not the wars he fought, not the reputation he spent years building on the most dangerous block in Chicago. All of that stayed on the record. What changed was what the street was willing to call him afterward. And in the world Mad Max came from, what you get called after you die is the only thing that lasts. This is the story of Terrortown's most dangerous man and the hospital room that ended his legend. No Limit was built in a 4-block rectangle, 75th to 79th, Yates to Colfax, already nicknamed Terrortown before the drill era began. 3 simultaneous wars running inside it, 3 separate sets of enemies, a neighborhood that had been burying teenagers since before most of the people fighting in it were born. Into that world came a young man who would eventually be known as Mad Max, a No Limit member. And from the beginning, he was not going to be famous the way the rappers became famous. He was not building his name through music or social media or YouTube. He was building it in the only currency Terrortown recognized for decades before the cameras arrived. What he did, consistently, on all 3 fronts. By the time the drill era fully arrived, by the time Kill Shit was uploaded and the world started paying attention to this 4-block stretch of Chicago's east side, Mad Max was already a fully formed legend inside that world. He did not need YouTube to be known. He was known the way the street makes people known, through what they did and what survived them. Every generation in Terrortown had produced soldiers. Mad Max became the standard they were all measured against. You were either as dangerous as Mad Max, or you were not Mad Max. The McDonald's video, and then a video of him at McDonald's went viral. And the modern era did something strange and brutal to an old-school legend. Before social media, a man like Mad Max existed almost entirely in the oral tradition. People who knew him. People who did not. His reputation traveled at the speed of the street, fast inside the neighborhood, invisible outside it. The drill era changed that architecture entirely. By the early 2010s, the No Limit story was being followed by an audience spread across the entire country and beyond. Anybody who followed Chicago drill knew the names, knew the block, knew the war. The McDonald's video put a face and a voice to the name. It broadcast him unguarded, casual, ordinary in a fast food restaurant to an audience that had been following the No Limit story through the music for years. And what it showed was not a carefully constructed image. It was a real man in real time carrying the weight of his reputation naturally, without performing it. For the drill community, that combination is more powerful than any song. It makes the legend concrete. You are no longer listening to a name in a bar. You are looking at the actual person the name belongs to, and the person matches the story exactly. Mad Max did not go viral because he wanted to. He went viral because the story had outgrown the neighborhood, and the neighborhood had someone in it who fit the story perfectly. 3 fronts. Every piece of Mad Max's reputation was built inside a war running on 3 fronts simultaneously. To the south and east, KTS, Kill to Survive. The lakeside gangster disciples and vice lords whose territory bordered No Limits, and whose name alone told you everything about the posture they operated from.
That nigga died a complete bitch. He a bitch, folks. That nigga told. Yeah, that's right. He told. I'm focused. On my son, that nigga told. He
We gonna
pointed
come
the
to
finger,
Louisiana?
like, yeah, it was him. That nigga made a dying statement. That shit was crazy. He blew my mind with that. I'm not him. Not him.
My killer real quick. Let me call right back my killer call.
Not him. Gang. That nigga died a snitch. That shit was crazy. That shit was crazy, photo. I couldn't believe that nigga, he kinda fucked my head up. Y'all.
To the west, Pocket Town, another set with Black Pea Stone heritage, organized and violent, a constant pressure from that side of the rectangle. To the north, Black Mob, the older Keystones still demanding street tax from any set operating in what they considered their territory. Most gangs fight one war at a time. No Limit was fighting all three, all the time, with a crew concentrated in 4 blocks. In that environment, the most dangerous man in the neighborhood was not the one who picked his battles. He was the one who did not. Mad Max's legend was built on the understanding, spoken on the block and encoded in the songs that followed, that he was active on all fronts at all times with a consistency that the street treated as both extraordinary and terrifying.
I don't give a fuck if your ass was on fentanyl, bro. You won't tell on no fucking body fault. You won't do that, bro. How the fuck you tell me this? Everybody know who the fuck Mad Max was, who he was, bro. Like the nigga said in his songs all the time. Before he died, before he was on what, like 3 $25,000 bonds. They bond this nigga out every time he catch a pipe case, folks. Every time the nigga, look Chris, folks, Mad Max caught a fucking pipe case, folks. They bonding his ass out every time. He died on 3 bonds, folks, for 25 bands, folks. Like, and he was really doing shit, folks. You don't tell on nobody, bro. For you to been doing all that shit you was doing, folks. And when it's your time, it's your time. You supposed to know this shit already. You supposed to been thought about this shit. All us in the streets, folks. We thought about the consequences, what the fuck could happen. Jail, nigga, death, nigga, all that shit, nigga. You thought about.
He really say if he went, I ain't gonna say he terrorized us, cause I ain't gonna say it like for most of what I heard, folks. Max was really more like catching niggas that wasn't involved in the war for real. He was just trying to hurt the motherfucking fellas. He want to kill motherfuckers that he know motherfuckers like that ain't even one for real, like Bud, niggas like that. So like Max was just taking miscellaneous motherfuckers out, but they say. He shot some names. He shot me shit. So he popped me and my foot still fucked up to this day. But you know, he popped some shit. But you know, he got his ass popped and told on everybody. So shit, that shit don't even mean shit no more.
In a war with 3 active enemies, having Mad Max on your side was the argument that No Limit was not going to be absorbed or overwhelmed. He was not just a soldier. He was the neighborhood's most complete answer to the question its enemies kept asking. 2 names run through the Mad Max story more than any others, Lolo and Posto, both connected to the KTS faction, the Lakeside crew that No Limit had been at war with since the original 3-front conflict erupted. Both young, both killed in the middle of a war that had already taken enough lives to fill a small cemetery. The street connected their deaths directly to Mad Max's side of the ledger. In the songs, in the social media tributes, in the way both sides of the war talked about what happened, Lolo and Posto became the 2 names most consistently attached to what the street attributed to Mad Max. That attribution has to be handled honestly. The street's version of events and the court's version of events do not always overlap. What is documented is that both men died in the course of the No Limit versus KTS conflict. What the community encoded in the songs, in the street talk, in the way the enemy side framed its own grief, is that Mad Max was the reason. In Terror Town, that distinction barely mattered. The street's ledger and the court's ledger had never fully aligned in this neighborhood. What the block believed is what got avenged. And Lolo and Posto became permanent entries in Mad Max's column. Whether any court ever put his name on a charging document or not. By the time the war reached its peak intensity, Mad Max had become something the whole conflict organized itself around. On the No Limit side, he was the ultimate confirmation that the neighborhood could hold its own. 3 separate enemies, and the most feared man in the zip code was on your side. That translated directly into identity, into the songs, into the way young men in Terrortown understood what kind of place they came from and what kind of men they were supposed to become. On the KTS side and on the Pocket Town side, Mad Max was the primary argument for why No Limit could not simply be ignored or absorbed. He was the proof that the disrespect would cost something. He was the living answer to the question of whether No Limit was serious. And for the younger generation coming up inside the neighborhood, the shorties watching how the older heads carried themselves, learning the rules and the values and the posture of the world they had been born into, Mad Max was the most visible proof of what that world rewarded. Not music, not education, not politics, pure, consistent, total commitment to the war. That is what his legend meant to the children growing up in Terrortown. It was a lesson, and the lesson had consequences that neither he nor anyone else could have predicted. Mad Max died the way the war demanded, violently, too young. The specific circumstances, the where, the who, the exact how, sit in the category of street knowledge that travels faster and louder than verified fact. What is not disputed is that he died inside the same conflict that had defined his entire adult life, a no-limit legend taken by the war that built him. For the neighborhood, his death was both devastating and familiar. They had buried Veto and JMO and Fazo and Zele and Boss Blizz. They had already renamed block after block in the grief that accumulated over a decade. Mad Max's name joined a list that had been growing since 2009. The war did not stop for grief. It never had. It absorbed the grief and kept running, the way it always did. Nobody expected what came after. Not the retaliation. That was expected. That was the pattern. Not the memorial. That was already being assembled. Something else. Something that would take the most feared reputation in the NLMB universe and do the one thing that bullets had failed to do for years. From the hospital, according to what spread through the streets and through the community that had turned Mad Max into a legend, a statement was made. The allegation, disputed by some, accepted by others, spread by the social media infrastructure that now documents everything this war produces, is that Mad Max cooperated. That from a hospital bed, in the final hours of his life, he gave information to law enforcement. That the most feared killer in Terrortown, the man whose name had been the definitive answer to every threat No Limit ever faced, allegedly talked.
Is Assistant State's Attorney Maggie Mendenhall. Detective, do you mind letting us know what your name and star is?
Sure, Detective Kinney, Kinney, star number is 20450.
And then our videographer, do you mind letting us know your name and star?
Detective Burns, star number 20365.
And then you as well, please, Detective.
Detective Paul Staudacher, Staudacher, star 20166.
And sir, do you mind letting us know what your name is? Christopher?
Christopher Betts.
Okay, and we are here to take the statement regarding the aggravated battery with a firearm that was committed against you on August 3rd of 2018, around 3 p.m. When we spoke earlier, I introduced myself and told you that I'm a lawyer and a prosecutor, as well as an assistant state's attorney. I told you that I'm not your lawyer and not the lawyer for anyone involved in the case. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you understand who I am and what I do?
Yes, ma'am.
And did I then ask you if you would agree to speak to me regarding the aggravated battery when you were shot?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you agree to have a conversation with me?
Yes, ma'am.
And in summary, when we spoke earlier, did you tell me that you were moving into your mother's house?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you also say that as you were moving into your mother's house, you saw a subject or a person that you knew to be Terrell, that Terrell kicked open the gate and at your mother's apartment building and then proceeded to shoot you with a firearm? I'm sorry, is that a yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Did I ask if you would agree to have your statement videotaped?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you agree to have your statement videotaped?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you still agree to have your statement videotaped as we speak now?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you mind letting us know what your date of birth is? Okay. And what is the highest level of education that you received?
South Shore.
I apologize, I didn't hear you.
South Shore.
You went to South Shore? Okay, and since you went to South Shore, you can read and write English, I assume I have to ask that of everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm gonna take your attention to August 3rd of 2018, around 3. Oh, is it?
My leg do that on the
Oh, switching. Is there anything that we can do for you right now?
Just tighten up, man. I'm tight on the door.
Do you need a moment? No? Okay. Let me know if you need a moment, and we'll stop, okay? So on August 3rd of 2018, around 3 p.m., what were you doing at that time? You were in an apartment building, right? Is that a yes?
Yes.
You say your apartment building was at... Who lives that?
My mama.
And why were you at that apartment building, your mom's apartment building?
I was moving in.
You were moving into your mother's apartment building?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you have some belongings or some items that you were moving into that building?
I had bags of clothes and shit in the trunk.
You had bags of clothes in the trunk?
Yes, ma'am.
Whose car was that?
My own friend.
Okay. And as you were moving your items into the apartment, did you notice anything that was odd?
I said, first, 2 people in the front gate, 1 was fat.
I apologize, I didn't hear you.
2 people in the front gate, 1 was a woman, 1 was a man.
In the world Mad Max came from, there is no more total destruction of a legacy than that accusation. Not dying. Dying is absorbed. Dying gets you a world, a renamed block, a face in a mural. But cooperation with police, alleged or confirmed, is the one thing the street cannot memorialize. It retroactively poisons everything. Every person who swore by the name, every song that used him as a reference point for pride, every young man who grew up looking at his reputation as proof of what No Limit was. The allegations spread the way all devastating information spreads in this world, through social media, through songs, through the conversations of people who had to decide what to believe. Some disputed it entirely, some accepted it without question. But the damage was done the moment the allegation had enough circulation. In the court of street opinion, an accusation of snitching does not require proof. It only requires an audience. And by the time it had won, the most feared name in Terror Town was something different than it had been. Not a legend, a warning. Here is the full accounting. A young man grew up in a 4-block war zone on Chicago's east side with 3 enemies running simultaneously and no architecture for anything other than survival. He built the most feared reputation in his neighborhood through years of conflict that the city barely acknowledged until the music started. He survived longer than most. He became the definitive symbol of what No Limit could do. The name that made people cross the street. The name encoded in the songs. The name that the enemy used as their primary argument for why this war had to be taken seriously. And then he died in a hospital, and allegedly a statement was made. Think about what that actually means as a human fact. A man who had devoted his entire adult life to a specific set of values, loyalty, silence, protection of the block above everything else, was allegedly at the end of it in a position where none of those values could protect him anymore. Dying, in pain, afraid, probably, in a hospital bed that the street could not reach and could not save him from.
And whatever happened in that room, whatever he said or did not say, whatever the truth actually is behind the allegation, the street held him to a standard that the street itself had never been held to. The same world that gave a young man from Terror Town no realistic path other than becoming Mad Max. That world did not forgive him for being human in the worst moment of his life.
That is the full weight of it. Not the body count. Not the McDonald's video. Not the songs. What the whole story proves is that the most dangerous thing about this world is not what it does to you while you are fighting in it. It is what it does to you when you finally cannot fight back. When the most feared man in the neighborhood is lying in a hospital, and the legend that protected him his entire life is the first thing the street is willing to take away. He built everything the world he came from told him to build. And at the end, the world he came from was the one that buried his name. We the mob. Drop your verdict in the comments. Does what a man allegedly says in a hospital room erase what he lived? Or does the street owe him the same mercy it never gave anybody else? Because how you answer that tells you everything about what kind of justice this world actually runs on. Hit the like button, subscribe, and check the next documentary on your screen.